Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the DCP tag. So in this DCP tag, you're going to hear me talk a little bit about the interview process and what the application process was like and what is my preferred role and all these other things regarding the DCP. So if you want to hear more, stay tuned. The first question that I'm going to answer is, how did you hear about the Disney College program? This question and the answer for it kind of varies in a little bit because I found it on my own, but I also had friends that were doing the program as well. So I would say that I heard about the process first on YouTube, watching vlogs, which is so funny that I'm doing vlogs now, but I heard them all through old vlogs, and I always kind of knew about this program, and I talked about it with my mom and was like, hey, this is really cool. I get to work for Disney. I don't know what it is, but okay. I had more and more friends start to do it. I had a friend from my hometown do it. I had a lot of friends from my college do it, and I heard nothing but good things about it, and so I was like, I know that this is where I'm meant to be and where I'm meant to work. I'm so excited that I get to finally work here after looking at so many different vlogs previously and so many friends previously that have done it, and now I get to form my own experience with it, which I'm very, very excited about. So the second question was, how was the interview process? The application process was a little bit different than those years prior because of COVID, but the application process was still as magical as ever. So the applications dropped on Monday, and of course I was at work when it dropped, so I had to wait until 5 p.m. to submit my applications, which was totally fine, but I was nervous the whole day. When I got home from work, I immediately grabbed my computer from upstairs and ran down to my kitchen and sat next to my mom and started filling out the application. The application was a basic application that you would fill out for a job, most likely what's your name, where are you from, what college did you attend, what was your major, do you agree to working these amount of hours, and all that basic stuff that was just simple and to the point, and that was your first step. Then after I filled out the application, I hit submit, which I was so anxious about, but then it said at the very end, thank you for applying. If you get on to the next step, we will send you an email. At that point, I was still a little nervous because the next email that you get would either say thank you for applying, we are not accepting you this year, or oh, we're gonna move on to the next step. So I was part of this GroupMe for all Disney College Program applicants of the fall that were basically saying that their next process took 10 minutes, took a couple hours, or they didn't get it yet. And so I was freaking out because it could come at any time. So I kept refreshing my email until I couldn't anymore. So I came upstairs to my room to kind of forget about it for a little while, and I was singing and I was letting out my stress, because that's what I do when I'm stressed, is just belt out songs. And I was checking my email multiple times until I couldn't, and finally I got an email that said thank you for applying, we are gonna have you move on to the next step. And that was one of the scariest things, but also the most humbling things, because I was like, oh my god, okay, cool, we're moved on to the next step. I thought I didn't, and all these thoughts were going in my head at once, and it was just the coolest process to get that email. The next process was called a WBI, which is a web-based interview, and it's something that Disney started doing because of COVID. I believe they did that previously, but in this one there is no phone interview, there is no in-person or Zoom interview. So the questions basically carried on about what type of worker you are, and if you're least likely to do something, most likely, and it just was basic questions that got Disney to know a little bit more about you, which was nerve-wracking at first, but once you completed it, it was the best feeling. At the end of the WBI, it tells you if you're a strong candidate or you're not a strong candidate. If you're not a strong candidate, it says thank you for your time, thank you for applying, and you go on your merry way. But if you get to the end, like I did, I got strong candidate, which I'm still so shocked about and so excited about, because I know a lot of people that haven't gotten that. It says thank you, and we will send you any acceptance news from that point. Because it says you're a strong candidate, some may think, oh yeah, I'm accepted from that point, but at that point it's saying that you're in consideration for the acceptance. The acceptance can take a couple days, it can take hours, it can take months. I know friends right now that are still in consideration, and it's nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie, it's nerve-wracking. But now the next question is, where were you when you found out you got accepted? And my easy answer to that was I was home, but in reality I was at work and I came home for my lunch break because I was so nervous. And I remember checking the GroupMe and everyone was talking about they were getting accepted, and I was freaking out. I was constantly refreshing my email because I was like, come on, please, I just want to find out. And I was anxious, and all these other people were getting in. So I came home from my lunch break because I did not want to stay at my job during lunch because I was too nervous, and I only live 5 minutes away from my work. So I came home and I was sitting in my couch and I was like freaking out. I was watching TikToks and then checking my email, and my mom was like, relax, it's okay. And then I finally was ready to go back to work after my lunch break, and I was like, you know what, let me just check one more time. It's probably not going to say anything, but let's just try. And I refreshed my email, and there it was. There was the glorious email that literally made me cry. I screamed at the top of my lungs, and I ran into my mom and I cried. My sister and I cried, my mom and I cried. My dog was very, very confused on why we were all crying, but it was one of those moments that I was like, oh my god, this is happening, this is real. Then of course afterwards I had to go back to work, and I was freaking out the whole time. I told my coworkers, and it was just so exciting and just such a great time, and I couldn't believe that this was happening because it was something that I was dreaming of for so long. And of course I called my dad, and I was crying on my phone to my dad and my brother, and it was just a really, really fun experience to have and to share that with them because they knew that I wanted it for so long. And of course afterwards you get an email about payment for your whole program. You accept the offer and you pay for the program, and that's an initial fee, and I believe it's like $425, and you pay that and then you accept your offer, and then you move on to the next point, which is picking your dates and everything like that. So that was very exciting and a very surreal day, and I still honestly to this point can't believe that that happened. So like I said in the previous video, we do not know our roles until a week or so before we get there, but my preferred role for the Disney College program would have to be a character attendant. I have dreamed of being a character attendant for so long and so many years. Even if I wasn't in the Disney College program, I would try to be a character attendant. It is my dream role, and I would be the happiest person on the planet if I received that role. The character attendant really means a lot to me, and I love interacting with kids and interacting with the characters and making them feel safe, but also making the kids feel safe and having a good time. And I think it's just one of those magical moments that you have in Disney. Character attendant really makes the magic for the children and helps kind of solidify the whole magical moment. It's you, the character attendant, and the character, and that solidifies the moment of your magical experience and meeting the characters efficiently. Preferred role that I would love to also do is anything with attractions. I would love to work in Toy Story Land because I'm obsessed with Toy Story, and I just love that movie and that land so much that it would be so fun to work on because I could feel like a kid every single day. But I would also love to work in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. I would love to work either at the Monsters Inc. laugh floor because that's my favorite ride. It's a great one. You should check it out because it's my favorite. I would love to go on that ride every single day if I could. Even though it's not a ride, it's more of like a sit-down experience, and it's really fun. But I also would love to work at the Buzz Lightyear ride because that is something I grew up going to with my family, and it means a lot to us. So if I got to work there, I would be the happiest person on the planet. I would love to do anything with character attendant, merchandise, or attractions, and I'm just so happy that I made it this far with the application process and the acceptance process. I know that I'm very lucky, and I appreciate all the luck that I've had over the past few weeks, so I am so gracious for that, and I honestly, anything in those 3 areas would be a dream to me. Next question is, what is your favorite Disney park? Now, it honestly varies on a day-to-day basis, but if I had to pick one park that I could spend all day in no matter what, it would be the Magic Kingdom. When I was younger, probably I was about 3 or 4, and I'm walking down Main Street, and my mom and my sister and my dad and my brother were all walking down Main Street, and my mom asked me, "Kate, what street is this?" And my sister and I are holding hands, and my sister and I both say Main Street, and it is the cutest thing on the planet, and I've always felt like I've just belonged there. It has everything you ever want. You have Fantasyland, you have Tomorrowland, you have just Frontierland, you have every single place on the planet that's there, and it's just so magical, and it's the root of Disney. And the other parks are as well, but I feel like in that one I feel at home the most. My favorite Disney park would have to also be Epcot, because Epcot's just amazing. She's the prettiest girl in school. Epcot. It's amazing. I'd love to work at Uppbeat because I feel like there's so many different places you could work as well, and I think that that would be really fun to just experience everything. What is the first thing you're going to do when you get there? Honestly, I think I'm going to scream I'm home as the first thing I'm gonna do when I get there, because this is also a dream that I have wanted since I was 5. So I think I'm just gonna scream I'm home, but I'm also going to probably try to go to get a Mickey ice cream bar, because those are my things and I love them. And the last question is, what is one thing that you hope to take away from the program? I hope that I take away from the program a lot of things, but I really hope that I can learn more about Disney and how they work, since this is a company that I've idolized for so long, and I just hope that I could have a deeper appreciation for them, because the cast members really are the most important people that work at Disney, because they're making the magic and making everything work and just run smoothly. So I want to be able to grow in my appreciation for Disney and grow in my love for Disney even more. Another thing I hope to take away is making lifelong friends. Because of the group me that we had, I've already made a lot of friends that just get me and get Disney and get the whole process, and I don't think I would have ever found that if I didn't apply for this program, and I'm so appreciative of that. Like, one thing you're gonna take away, but I'm doing multiple because why not? But I think another thing I'm gonna take away from this is just the experience itself and apply it to real life work experience. So hopefully when I'm there I can get a clearer picture on what I want to do with my life when I'm out of this, which is scary to think about, but I want to stay in the present moment. But I just am so excited to learn all these new tricks and tips and what makes Disney so special and why it's such a magical place. So I'm very, very excited about that, and I'm excited to take all of you along the journey with me, because I know when I was watching vlogs, I was so invested in this journey with these cast members, and I felt like I was part of the program. So hopefully I can be that person for you. And I'm so grateful to be accepted and to be a part of this journey, and I thank my lucky stars every single day, and I can't wait to bring you guys along on this journey and show you the magic that is within these beautiful, beautiful parks and this company. And I just can't wait to bring you guys along. So like I said in my first video before, make sure you subscribe if you want to continue on our journey, and we'll see you guys real soon. Bye.